I swear his second chin is almost evolving into a new face at this point. His nips be poking out like scotch strips, be wanting to hang an elegant piece of photography on them booby buttons. Honestly, I love a man at a party that knows how to boogie down and get wild, and Nick makes sure he's never mild with those dance moves. This home wrecker is hitting the Brooklyn style woodpecker. Never thought I'd see somebody hit the worm vertically, but Nick is out here flopping around the swamp. Bro's out here busting down on the dance floor, hitting the Heimlich stinker. 2 belly flops this time. Look at that. He hitting that SpongeBob, drop on the deck and flop like a fish over that ravioli dish. Speaking of dish, why is his body built like a TV network satellite? I be pointing my remote at that hoe to be changing the channel. He kind of looking like one of the meatball motherfuckers from Alice in the Wonderland. Yeah, it's baby on baby. Looking at motherfucker looks like a born and raised Idaho tater tot, and his hair kind of looks like Oswald Cobblepot. But as we can clearly see, Nick decided to bop out a little Caesar before chowing down on some Little Caesars. And one takeaway we can already grab from the 3 seconds that we just watched is that he kind of looks like one of the Burger Boy astronauts from the WALL-E movie. I feel like his second chin is just secretly a gill expanding because this motherfucker's out here looking like a washed up Ursula. But what a lot of people don't understand is that Nikocado Avocado is a warrior. He is a hero. He somehow eats all of that food and does not die, and also every single time he's about to eat, he lets out a little war cry that'll even make Spartans shit their pants in utter fear, and it always sounds like the intro to Feels Good from Gorillaz. This bitch reminds me of Yuji Itadori because this motherfucker just eats to gain his strength. It's almost like he has a symbiote diet because this bitch be airing out his local restaurants on a day-to-day basis. Like, it's remarkable that I just witnessed a man take 10 years off his life at one sitting. There's so much grease on that fucking bed that I'm even starting to sweat. And then every time Nick slowly charges up like Snorlax, he likes to get up and do a little victory dance. He wobbles around his room like a Club Penguin NPC, celebrating him miraculously surviving and not having his heart flop out of his asshole because of how much carbohydrates he just consumed from one of his 7 daily 6,000 calorie feast. This bitch has a Shaggy diet if Shaggy was stuck at a Golden Corral. It's honestly a miracle in how this man's lungs hasn't collapsed on him yet, because I bet his arteries are more clogged than a Chipotle bathroom after EDP got done blowing his colon chili over the bit.
Like a tightrope, run up on me, that's your last hope. I select you because I need to...
Watching this man transform over the last 4 years, finally evolving like a Pokemon even though he's shaped like a whole ass Pokeball, it honestly feels like I'm watching a time lapse of somebody with bronchitis trying to blow up a balloon. Bro, these edibles be going badonkers. I'm starting to hear the wall talk to me and shit. Bro, I can deadass go for some beans on toast right now. Hey, yo, shit, what the hell happened to?
I ain't desperate, got a death wish, Already wake up every morning, got a Zanny and her lettuce for breakfast. Now I gotta flex.
Alright, welcome back, ladies and ladies with dicks. It's been a fat minute since we last spectated on the rare breed known as Nikocado Avocado. More like inbred, if anything. This motherfucker shook some ass and started speaking doodle bob. And by a fat minute, I mean a whole ass year, but I'm only doing it for my own safety because Nick is a bulging beast you don't want to summon out of his cave. He is a sleeping bear you don't want to poke because he'll start patty whacking his titties against your face if you dare to talk down on his name. Which I find ironic because this man is shaped like a whole ass avocado. Never thought a man that would name himself after a vegetable would turn into one. It's crazy how he went from promoting veganism and healthy diets to one-throating pizza boxes on the daily while he giggles and wiggles his ass around like a dog that has crabs growing in his asshole. And speaking of greasy dishes and chocolate starfishes, and recent events that came up that kind of brought me back to Nick was him being proud of showing his chocolate cloud, because literally not only did Nick create an OnlyFans, but he also decided to be generous and share a picture. I remember scrolling through my timeline, the day was beautiful and the sun was beginning to set, and then all of a sudden my eyes exploded because I was greeted to a blinding solar eclipse on my screen. Now obviously I'm not going to show the booty flick because A, I would trigger my gag reflex if I seen that shit again, and B, the only thing that would get wiped here is my fucking channel if I showed a pixel of that image. But cameras isn't the only thing that's being shoved up Nick's ass, because he also brings his boyfriend to a lot of his videos where they basically fight and argue for 40 minutes and start slapboxing each other with slices of pizza.
Get the rest, eat the rest.
His relationship with his boyfriend Orlin is about as stable as Lizzo walking on stilts, because every other week Nick will tell Orlin he cheated on him for a whale at the bottom of the fucking ocean, and then the next upload will be Nick proposing to Orlin by giving him a ring pop and a pit bull foamy mouth blowjob. Then the week after that, Orlin will break up with Nick Nick, and it's just an ongoing clusterfuck that never ends. Their relationship is like the equivalent of a screencast of the Jerry Springer Show. And if you want to see for yourself and have some prime examples of his heart-filled titles, even though the only thing that's filling Nick's heart is Big Mac grease, because I'm gonna keep it a chuck beef and blow out a queef, you might fall to your knees crying and shaking as we go through the ass chaps and the sweaty tit flaps of Nikocado Avocado's tear-captivating love journey. I swear, his arteries had to look like a sweaty Twizzler at this point. My doctor said to eat this. Well, first off, I don't know what the fuck kind of doctor you have. Your ass should be prescribed to go on Ramadan, if anything. But as you can clearly see, they seem to be playing a nice game of tonsil hockey. It almost looks like Kung Fu Pandas kissing a mirror because of how much they match. I can't imagine anything that would separate them apart. We're breaking up. Oh no, what happened? Why we can't break up? We broke up. Orlin ran away. Orlin is missing. Orlin left evidence. The fuck is this, an episode of the First 48? Orlin is missing, but left a clue. Orlin. Yeah, that's about it. It's just Orlin. Five Guys with cheese sauce! How are people afraid of ghosts? Like, you telling me all these bitch-ass spirits can do is move a chair out a couple inches? Like, how polite. I was planning on sitting down anyways, little undead hoe. Every single video that I just listed, it looks like I'm watching an Animal Planet documentary because all their thumbnails look like two hippos clashing together to see who can get the last bite of a Big Mac. You couldn't already tell, their relationship is nothing but an absolute heartthrob. We all wish we could have a bond like Nick and Orlin do. Who knew that all it takes to find the perfect one is love, dicks, and 100 mozzarella cheese sticks? At this point, I feel like in a few years, if Nick even lives to tell the tale, he's gonna go from YouTube to TLC to be on my 600-pound life. Watching this man's life story is like watching the mayor off a Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. He used to be so skinny, kind, caring for the community, and now he just turned to a fat asshole. But if you're confused on how a man can gain 3 times his body weight in the span of 2 years, well, don't worry, you're not alone, because Nick himself is even confused on how he got into that position to look like a fucking roof repair titan. And him being able to upload daily mukbang videos of him chowing down on his maleficent meals, half the time the shit looks like a fucking feast I would see out of one of the Hobbit movies. And I ain't even gone to the most impressive part of it yet. The most impressive part, besides how his nipples look like fucking pool doodles, is that somehow he actually manages to almost eat all the food that you see in the videos. That's right, all that Five Guys and cheese fries is heading right to the airbags that we call his thighs. It's honestly remarkable how he hasn't had cardiac arrest on camera yet. Just looking at one of his videos of the things he's eating, it looks like I'm looking at what the Honey Boo Boo family would buy for Thanksgiving. It's fucking absurd and disgusting in how he consumes all of that. Like, are you Gothmog, the 7-stomach beast? Like, there's no way in fuck you can just constantly eat that on a regular basis and be perfectly fine. Well, I mean, he's not perfectly fine. I mean, his body clearly goes to show that. He's one chicken nugget away from going into respiratory failure, so I mean, obviously what I just said was completely false. That was not even anywhere close to the truth. And I bet he has to get a pair of pliers to open up his belly flap so he can take a piss in the morning. I don't even know why Orlin is still wasting his time with him, because this man is a lactose intolerant. His stomach fat covers his whole entire genitalia. Every time he shoots his daughter water out of his blowhole, his stomach turns into a deflector defense. His testicles and chesticles start playing a tennis match with the baby gravy. She just wanna get a rise, yeah. Then I go and blow her by, yeah. Then I go and pop a tag, yeah. Then I go and suck his sack. Oh shit, we still recording? I feel like I can play Pac-Man 2 player with those ham cubes. Your nipples out here looking like arcade buttons. Now, it's a true wonder to the world in how you can gain 3 times your body weight in one sitting, and when it comes to gaining all that weight, Nick is the most confused out of us all. Because he uploaded a video of him basically being confused on why he's getting fat, where he basically rolled around his chubs and clapped his stubs together like a pig in the mud, basically for 40 minutes trying to wonder how he even got to this point. And honestly, I gotta agree with him. It's a question that not even science itself can answer. Instead of flapping your chins around like a little hummingbird about to take off and running your mouth all the time spewing out more spit than a backyard sprinkler, how about you try running on a treadmill instead? It's really a simple fix, but you decide to eat 100 Twix and Orlin's dick at the end of the night instead. And in the video that's questioning his obeseness, he also states that pizza is a vegetable and he doesn't believe in exercise.
Is this nigga serious?
So as we can easily tell, this grease beaver knows something we don't. He is a true blue stalker, a Harvard graduate, if you will. So without any further ado, let's watch Nick gallop around the room like a wild capybara that's stuck in the wind, and hear his groundbreaking theories that will bend reality, even though the only thing that he's fucking bending is the floorboards.
Flip flop, tibby wop, getting on my sandals when I can't get a mop.
Follow my Twitter at Nikocado Avocado, and if you do, I might just follow you back.
I mean, what the fuck can you even say to that, really?
Look at my body. Look at this body. Look at this body. Look at this body. Look at this body.
Well, it's kind of hard to not look at it when your belly button is tongue kissing your camera lens.
I don't even wear my merch anymore. I have merch called It's Just Water Weight, because it is just water weight. This is literally, listen. I know exactly what I'm talking about, because I actually know nutrition.
Well, yeah, I guess you would be an expert in nutrition if you consumed it all. It's like riding a bike. The more you do it, the more you get comfortable with it. And I guess for Nick's sake, the more he eats, the more healthy he gets. And I guess Nick's pristine, healthy, ideal body type is for him to get to a point where he can't fit into a doorway without walking sideways, because Nick is already 80% there. there. He's one cheeseburger away from sending us into orbit.
And I don't believe in exercise. It's the shoe industry taking advantage of people.
I mean, you heard him. Were you planning on buying Air Forces, you fat ass fuck? Do you know what they do behind closed doors at the Nike factory? Besides whip the 12-year-olds that actually manufacture the shoe itself, they have specialized fat soluble technology where they rub a KFC drumstick against the bottom of the shoe, so every single time that you put a shoe on, the grease gets absorbed in by your socks, allowing an easy passageway for all the unhealthy attributes to start coursing through your veins and poison them. Julius Caesar didn't fuck his cousin and die in the war for nothing. Think about what actually matters here. Nike. Just do it.
I know what I'm talking about. You're talking about someone who is an expert in nutrition. I actually have a salad. Look. Look right here.
You can almost see his stomach recoil as he approaches the salad, like it's scared of eating it. And yeah, you may have a few pieces of lettuce that you scraped out of the bottom of a Panera dumpster, but you also have a whole ass Dunkin' Donuts box right next to it, kind of defeating your whole entire point. I know you tried swerving the camera hella fast like this shit's a Sin City music video, but you can't run nor hide, so I don't know how you think you're gonna get away from this one.
Let me show you. Let me just show you. This is my body right now. I said to my mom, look, I'm looking I'm like hog roast for Christmas Eve. I look like hog roast.
The fuck was that? The Goofy from Disney, like Freaky Friday into your body real quick? Like, what the hell? I look like hog roast! Or maybe when he gave his belly a jiggle, let out a little giggle. I don't know what the hell.
Look over here. Look over there. Christmas roast is served. And I eat vegetables. Actually, I eat pizza. Michelle Obama says pizza is a vegetable.
Your therapist says you're dying. I feel like if Nick had a therapist, he would need another therapist for that therapist, because I don't know how anybody can even go into a controlled room with him for 5 minutes without going mentally deranged. Because what he just said already made my chromosomes turn into Home Depot ladders. Honestly, just trying to understand this man is like trying to read the Bible backwards in Chinese. There's absolutely no point in even going for it. It's like waking up a deaf person with an alarm clock. There's just no fucking point. It makes no sense. And also, I love how you titled the video, I'm getting fat and I don't know why, while you're wearing a shirt that literally says, I heart cheese on it. Well, slap my diddle. I think I solved your own riddle that you've been bothering about. Right there's the fucking answer. The truth is right in front of you. All you gotta do is look down if you can even see your own shirt at this point.
Michelle Obama says pizza is a vegetable. Michelle Obama says pizza is a vegetable.
Michelle Obama says pizza is a vegetable.
Michelle Obama says pizza is a vegetable.
Michelle Obama says pizza is a vegetable.
So as you can see, Nick busts down into a little Jimmy John shimmy, spitting his XXL Cypher verse, even though the only thing that's XXL is his shirt size. But I really appreciate the little Humpty Dance remix. I never thought I would see Humpty Dumpty Raw in the flesh do it himself.
Speaking of vegetables, my butt looks like a cauliflower. Cottage cheese.
Well, yeah, you're right. You don't have a double chin. You have a quadruple one. I bet you can play the accordion with those goddamn dimple chimples. Apparently, I was wrong by describing Nick's brown balloon to be a solar eclipse. Apparently, it's a fucking black hole because it seems to be absorbing his whole entire body. Shit feels like I'm looking at a whirlpool. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Big Blob SquarePants up in the KFC.
Trolling. Oh, you're doing it for attention? No. I know how to do saltwater flush cleansing.
You lost me with that one, family. I was fucking with it though. You know what's crazy?
Apparently, Hunch Butt of the Notre Gut knows a secret remedy that we all don't that instantly gains weight loss. I guess it involves some salt water. Maybe he's just talking about when he goes down to the beach and belly flops in the sea, role playing as a whale or something. It's honestly nothing but remarkable how in the span of 2 years, Nick went from somebody that would be walking on the beach to something that just washed up on the beach. And besides him rubbing salt water on his ass and slapping vegetable oil on his stomach to shrink its size, but Nick has done the impossible. He actually lost weight. Sure, it's only 2 pounds, but he had the perfect celebration for it, which was to buy 6 fucking foot-long subs from Subway and practically gain it all right back in 5 pounds more. So as you can see, he is very smart with his diet. Once he loses weight, he knows the perfect thing to keep that streak going. Him eating food and celebrating weight loss is like a person beating lung cancer and they celebrate by smoking a cigarette. But Nick always makes sure to never fail in thinking big in life. He always wants to have the bulge in his stomach be the one bigger than the bulge in his pants.
There's an ant!
Now that's a Subway meal that even Jared Fogle would be proud of. His sexuality isn't the only thing that Nick came out of, and I can't even say closet because he wouldn't fit in it, but he basically also came out as being disabled a couple weeks ago. Even though it's already gifted, I bet this man has to be airlifted in a helicopter to even go to a grocery store. But yeah, this brave soul with the sweaty asshole came out in the front lines and claimed that he's basically self-diagnosed disabled. He probably got all his research from WebMD and Yahoo Answers to confirm this, but I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually is. I mean, just by looks alone, it looks like he takes walks in the park with a forklift, so you really can't be surprised if he actually is. So let's take another deep dive down into the revolutionary theory that Nick came up with about him not believing in exercise, and then 3 months later he turns out to be a disabled person.
Oh my god! Wow.
You honestly can't expect the unexpected with this man. There's just curveballs being thrown in every direction. It looks like you stole a whole ass hibachi tray from a Chinese restaurant. Just got a half-steamed giant squid on his damn plate. I think if I look at that for another second, I'll start to develop stage 3 pulmonary disease.
My new merch shirt. It's your fault. I only did that because I had to show you the food.
So I know that bed stand is on life support right now. All it takes is one scoot and that bitch is collapsing. I love cheese. So here Nick sings us a little sea shanty while he's jerking off a ghost or trying to reel in the breadstick, one of the two. And just when he thought this man couldn't get any more disgusting, he decides to get fucking Olive Garden out of all the restaurants that exist. He orders from the one restaurant that uses horse pussy as their meatballs. I've never liked one thing from Olive Garden. This is completely off topic, but Olive Garden is literally only good for their free breadstick. Even though they probably use Gina Valentine's yeast infection to even rise the bread in the first place. That's the only thing that's remotely edible at that restaurant.
My teeth clumped.
I'll only eat spaghetti, pasta, if it's smothered in butter and cheese.
It's not really a surprise that the only thing that makes any food better for you is probably just butter and cheese. The most two unhealthiest fucking things you can ever add to food. So butter my left nipple and call me a cripple. You can't really be surprised by that. I think I felt the ground shake when he did that. So here Nick prances around like one of the 7 little fucking reindeers, even though he's built like Santa if he had a Fanta addiction. This man's body build really said Papa Pig by Goliath looking ass motherfucker.
I identify as skinny.
Here he decides to take a full 180 on his diagnosis of being disabled, and now he's coming out identifying on being skinny, which in other words that means he's physically disabled and also mentally disabled as well if he thinks that's skinny. Even Stevie Wonder would take off his glasses here and that shit. How are you gonna sell your own merch and not have one shirt size that actually fits you? Well, honestly, I think that wraps up the video right there. On a more serious note, Nick actually needs a lot of help, and I'm sure it doesn't really take a genius to come out about that, because you can turn up, down, side to side and spin your little hiney around like it's 2016. Put your ass in the air. What's up? If you think chubby little Reese Buttercup is not having a serious problem at the moment, he is slowly killing himself no matter any way you're trying to look at it. Consuming a Matt Stoney meal 4 times a day is not obviously going to be healthy for you. It doesn't take a nutritionist to figure that out, and I feel like Nick is playing sort of a character at this point that he developed himself into. On some Jarek and Hyde shit, in a weird way he played the character so much to the point where he developed his whole personality into being it. And no matter what side of the coin you're looking at, Nick is already flipping onto his own death at this point, and it's just, it honestly is saddening to see. To get yourself to be on the brink of heart attacks and also have the vegan teacher have a heart attack while watching it. No matter what side of the coin you're flipping on Nick's future, his death looks like it's coming close, and it's honestly scary to think about how a man went from being so healthy and positive to a human garbage disposal that'll vacuum up his food like fucking Kirby. Nick's future does not look promising, and if he keeps uploading the videos that he does now on a regular basis, he won't have a future anymore, because he can't constantly put his body through all this stress to grind up 6,000 calories through his intestines every single day. His rusty pipes are gonna get clogged soon if he doesn't take action and try to change himself immediately, because it's apparent he's not going to lose the calories himself, so I thought I would do him a favor today and try to burn the calories off for him by roasting him so much. But yeah, sorry for the ASMR outro. I know you guys are turned on by my voice anyways. I probably got your ears aroused flapping around like fucking Dumbo, but it's currently 1 in the morning. I didn't feel like waiting any longer to actually record this. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to slap a like before your dad slaps you. Subscribe to Hit My Vibe and follow all my socials, links down below. And if you guys want to see somebody that actually fits into the camera frame instead of have his stomach take over half of it, then you guys can follow my Instagram, run me up to 5,000 followers, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm gonna head out this bitch. Hey. I just gave a blowjob at a funeral, call that top in the morning.
Why am I so gnarly? Bad bitch, my bitch feel like Barbie. Love me, do she know me?